We are the children from Ankara, Uganda. We are fixing Africa. My name is Mint Mercrow. My name is Aleena Zahir. Thank you, tribal. We are the children from Ankara, Uganda. We are fixing Africa. My name is Mint Mercrow. My name is Aleena Zahir. Thank you, tribal. We are the children from Ankara, Uganda. We are fixing Africa. My name is Mint Mercrow. My name is Aleena Zahir. Thank you, tribal. We are the children from Ankara, Uganda. We are fixing Africa. My name is Mint Mercrow. My name is Aleena Zahir. Thank you, tribal. We are the children from Ankara, Uganda. We are fixing Africa. My name is Mint Mercrow. My name is Aleena Zahir. Thank you.
Fixing Africa!
Greetings everyone, welcome to Tribal Roots. In studio, my name is Colonel Isaac. I'm presenting to you as the Public Relations Manager, and here in studio I'm not alone. I'm with Aleena Zahir,
Yes.
the Director, Tribal Roots. You're welcome to Tribal Roots Studio.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So today we want to know what is Tribal Roots about, and we've heard of Tribal Roots, but we want you to explain more about the Tribal Roots.
Okay, Tribal Roots Studio is being launched today. That's the most important thing.
Yes.
We are launching to the whole world, and the whole world is with us at this launch. We will hear voices from different countries, different villages, and different communities in support of the Tribal Roots Studio.
I was born in Africa. Sing my song, music Africa. I was born in Africa. Sing my song, music Africa.
So the Tribal Roots Studio as an organization, initiative that is youth-centered.
Okay.
The theme is youth-led working solutions. We are calling upon youth across the world to rise up and take charge of the situation of the world, and especially here on the African continent. For we believe that they are young and at the same time very energetic. They have hopes and dreams and aspirations, and we can only support them. We can only inspire, support, and make sure we provide a good environment for them to develop and to exercise and to grow their talents. So this is what Tribal Roots is about. We are looking at a holistic approach to solving Africa's most pressing problems.
Okay.
Making sure we give them a platform where they can speak, express themselves.
We are in Africa where we are not under medical insurance. When you go to the hospital, you either sell your land, your merchandise, or if you're lucky, you have maybe your kid who, I don't know, something. But it's not that you're going to be sick and you go and all is well, you get. So what if you become a different kind of doctor who you have another source of income, to the extent that even the people you're treating, you're not doing business but you're rendering a service.
We really need to reach a point that we appreciate the potentials that are within us, because that's the only way we can end up doing great things. You know, you cannot just it's not really true that just by reading it's going to improve a lot of things, although it can. But you realize that the potential that people have are more useful to the community than what we are studying. Because how many people have studied and yet they have added no value to their community? It has happened a lot, right?
Yeah.
So, if we can manage to change that mentality that books alone Or education itself, because it has its fault already. Our education system, I think that's all of Africa. It has its faults. Because you realize that you are studying a lot, but majorly it's not teaching you how you are going to be out there, but just putting a structural kind of thinking in your head. Most times, if you have realized, most of people who have studied, thinking outside the box, it's really not easy. Because you have all your life you have been structured in a certain way, right? So yeah, you have been programmed in a certain manner.
We need to also come to terms with the fact that this is the education system. Actually, I would call it the colonial education system that was brought then is still here. Even though the world is changing, this system hasn't changed. It's still the same system. So also looking at the relevancy of this very education and our potentials, skills and talents. I think I'm also one of those that had a problem in my education. When I was growing up, there are things I wanted to do and there are things I was expected to do.
Yeah.
Parents put you on this path. They point you to a direction like this is where you're going. And me, I fought. I think I am thankful to God that I fought my way out of that direction. And I say, I rebelled. So, but then in the end, they came to terms with the fact that I was trying to follow my heart, my dreams, talents, and it worked. And this might be the reason why I'm here. So, at the youth parliament, and why we want the youth to really, really speak out, is because we believe that we can complain about the education system for life if we want. But if we actually don't speak about it and say this system we think should be overhauled or should be revised, they'll never do anything about it. But if we really think we should overhaul or change the education system, who is going to do that? When you have members of parliament that have no clue of what you're speaking about, probably a time will come when we'll take you to parliament and say, address this. This is coming from the Tribal Roots Youth Parliament. Speak to parliament and let's talk about policy now. We need a bill. We need all the members of parliament to support this bill because we think this education system is no longer relevant. So it's very, very important that you guys can really articulate our situation, because by articulating, then it puts us on the path to solving some of these challenges or putting solutions, at least on paper, for the next phase. So with this, I also would like to echo this. Let us not fear, or let us not bow to the bias and prejudice that goes along with leadership. Most cases, politics is dirty, everyone knows that. But we are the people who made it dirty. I think we should even get away from the word politics and talk about real leadership. Even in the school where you are, if things are not going well, it's the leadership. If you want something to change, it's the leadership. Even in your homes, if something is not going well, it's the leadership. Everywhere we go. So, the point is, we cannot keep saying the leadership is bad if we, the people who think we have good leadership traits and skills, do not engage or do not step into the leadership positions. That if you really want this good leadership and you are a leader, step forward, volunteer yourself and lead.
Okay.
So this is what Tribal Roots is about, and today we are launching the studio, and this means that from now and onwards, Tribal Roots will always have a voice, a place where people can come to and speak out and empower and inspire and also show us the good works that are happening, that they are doing. All the change makers around the world, wherever you are, this is your platform. So this is basically what Tribal Roots is about.
Oh, thank you. You've talked about empowering. What are some of the objectives and sectors that we as Tribal Roots, the youth listening out there would like you to shed more light on some of these sectors that Tribal Roots is trying to shed more light in?
Okay. At the center of our ideology is entrepreneurship. There is one pressing problem in Africa. You will find this everywhere you go, in the streets, in the countries, and in our communities. It is called unemployment, joblessness. African youth face this on a higher scale, on a level that is actually so annoying. So we believe that there are never going to be jobs if governance is not changing and actually shifting the paradigm on many of the aspects of development. So we believe entrepreneurship is the way. Entrepreneurship for the youth is the way. They must be able to create jobs themselves. They must be able to enter into the business sector and succeed. And these people can only succeed at entrepreneurship if they are supported. If they must be supported with skills, knowledge, education, finance, market, and being a part of the whole global system. So we find that for most of these, there is a lack of incentives and the needs for anyone to succeed at entrepreneurship. So we are presenting entrepreneurship as a tool for most people, even the professionals who may think they are okay. We say everyone needs to be thinking like an entrepreneur, and this is a Tribal Roots initiative.
Okay. So when you talk about entrepreneurship, how do you plan to implement this entrepreneurship? Because someone outside there listening, when he hears you talking about Tribal Roots, bringing up entrepreneurship, most of the youth in Africa are looking at the financial bit of it. Are you going to fund us to do this? Or how are you going to help them to start this out?
Okay. I'll say that sometimes we lose sight of the first things or the most important things. I have been in touch with many youth myself, and I have seen the corruption that has gotten to the core of everything they think about. Like, this is something that has been ingrained in their conscience. When you talk about entrepreneurship and you ask youth what they need, the first thing they say is, we just need money. But I'm sure if you throw money at these people, they still will fail at entrepreneurship. So Tribal Roots approach is to make sure that these people first of all have the right mindset. They have the tools. They have the knowledge. For you to succeed as an entrepreneur, you must know the language of business. You must learn the dynamics of getting into the field, competing, growing, and also going over the blocks and the challenges that exist. So, in a community where people have no financial literacy, entrepreneurship is a miss. You can give them incentives to entrepreneurship, but they won't succeed. So Tribal Roots, at Tribal Roots Studio, we have programs like education. And the education we provide is not the traditional schooling system that people know. It is educating you to become someone, become an entrepreneur. giving you the knowledge on starting, giving you the knowledge on money, showing you the trends that are happening in the world, bringing you closer to the dynamics of business. For example, now, people in Africa are not paying attention to the cryptocurrency that the rest of the world is venturing in. So, who in Africa is really caring to make sure that Africans can also tag along and move with the rest of the world? Like, if there is something new, we all should be learning about it. There are things that are foreign to us. For example, when we talk about technology, you get to our schools here, and someone is finishing primary school and they are still asking him, when did Henry Martin Stanley land in this nation? Like, that's the question you have to answer. In outside countries, young kids are learning coding. They are getting knowledge that is relevant with what is happening in this world at this moment. So, we say at Tribal Roots that our education must focus on making sure we are on the same page with the developing world. So if it's coding, we want to know what it means. If it's cryptocurrency, we want to define it and actually get the real meaning. Why? Why should we be at the bottom of everyone else? So in entrepreneurship, we want to actually learn all the tricks. So what we help the youth is to make sure we put them on a path to getting the knowledge, the learning, and when they are very well organized, we connect them with even the funders. Tribal Roots is a non-profit
organization.
Yes. So whatever work we do is to serve communities in the best way that we can, helping them in the best way that we can.
Okay.
Yes.
According to the world standards, when you compare all the continents around the globe, you discover that Africa is under. When you look at the technology system, the development, Africa is still bending, is still low with the technology. How can Tribal Roots help Africa in technology, in terms of technology?
Okay. Actually, Tribal Roots is advocating for technology for Africans. At the end of the day, we were born here and we have lived here all our lives. We know the challenges we have faced and we still are facing. Everything revolves and goes back to technology. If you have been in school, if you have been in the villages, you know that internet is a luxury for Africans. You know that even owning a smartphone in most of the villages is a big achievement. So it is the small things like a phone that give you a picture of the bigger problem. So how can African children compete with children in other countries when they do not access technological solutions? So right now at Tribal Roots, we are actually advocating and making sure that most of the initiatives that we are promoting must think about technology as the best alternative to winning. Now, I'll give you an example. We have been in the villages and we've checked on the farmers. Most of the farmers are facing different challenges, but they don't get it that the biggest challenge they have is a lack of technology. They will tell you about the diseases, pests, and also they will tell you about the fluctuating prices. They will tell you about the seeds that don't germinate. But these people will not mention technology because they are not aware that at the point we are, it's technology that will allow you to progress. So someone who is using machines on his farm cannot compete with someone who is using his hands and a hoe. This is the imbalance that we have. So it is irrelevant for African leaders to be speaking to the farmers, because I've seen this a lot of times. The leaders in the high offices, when they come down to the villages to speak to young people, they say, agriculture is the backbone. You need to go into agriculture. We're advising you to go into agriculture. Such irrelevant approaches. Because the truth is, you're supposed to support these young people with technological solutions. That's the only way they win. You should be talking about value addition. Most of the people are planting perishable crops. If you're not talking about value addition, you're not helping them. Because this happens a lot. So Tribal Roots is a technology activism group.
Okay.
At the same time. Yes.
So you're talking about agriculture. That means Tribal Roots, we are also advocating farmers' development in agriculture. So what advice do you give to a farmer who is outside there right now, listening to you right now?
Like outside, like?
Any farmer who is watching us live right now.
The farmers, wherever you are, if you're in Africa and you're a farmer, Tribal Roots is here for you. We are connecting the farmers in the different villages with technological enterprises. We already have fish farmers who we have already connected with the right farming demonstration farms, the right people who should help them excel at the business. So it doesn't really matter what you are dealing in with your farming. Tribal Roots has a solution for that. So on the programs we are launching, farming is a part of them. Because it also takes us back to some of the other challenges in the villages with children who don't feed well, malnutrition, and the diseases that are coming as a result of poor feeding. We have to look at farming as the solution to malnutrition. So we could actually solve most of the problems by solving one. Solve the farming problem challenges with technology, you have solved the health problem of malnutrition. So Tribal Roots advocates for a holistic approach to make sure we can really touch most of the challenges in all spheres of life.
Oh, thank you. As the director, Tribal Roots, what inspires, what is behind the name Tribal Roots?
Tribal Roots, that's a very brilliant question. So Tribal Roots is inspired by the numerous tribes of the world, which we find have also been the reasons why in some parts of Africa there are wars and unending conflict. So we decided to define ourselves as Tribal Roots, meaning that we are coming from the same root. Different tribes coming from the same root. This is further explained by the fact that now when we talk about the challenges faced in Africa, these challenges are actually faced by all the tribes. So there's totally no reason anyone should have to allow the tribes to divide us. So for us, the tribes are the reason we unite. And at the end of the day, we are all connected. We are all human. And this is the inspiration. So we all are branches of the same tree that depends on the same root.
Different colors, different tribes, same people.
This is what Tribal Roots is.
Oh, okay, that's wonderful. I think many people must have been wondering Tribal Roots, and they're wondering which kind of roots are these. Someone would be wondering, why not have a taproots or fibrous roots? Thank you very much. One of the things when you talk about tribes, we talk about culture. What do you have to say about culture and tribal roots? How does tribal roots connect with these cultures?
Tribal roots recognizes the presence of all these tribes. And as I said before, they all matter. They are all part of the human race. So, for culture and tribal roots, actually, I would like to say it in this way. Culture, at the end of the day, is your life and what life gives you. So you'll find that in Africa, most of the things we call culture are actually the superficial signs or the superficial characteristics of life. Like when you bring dances and dressing, most people want to define that as your culture. For tribal roots, that's not our definition. For tribal roots, we say your way of life is your culture. Now let's define your way of life. We look at how you feed. We look at your farming. We look at your marriage systems. We also look at your cattle keeping. We look at your leadership. When you bring all these things together, they define your culture. So normally we say that Africans have lost their cultural fabric. But this is what we lost. We lost life. We can't farm. We can't do things as we're supposed to do them. We have depended on other and foreign cultures. We have to wait upon someone to define our education. We have to wait upon someone to tell us this is how you should go with health. We have to wait for someone to tell us this is how your leadership should be. But originally, we have had our own definitions of what our way of life should be. So what tribal roots is trying to help the world, or especially Africa, is to empower you and actually tell you that your culture is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Because of embracing foreign cultures, we have started to think that our culture has a problem. Like, I think I need to do it like those people. I think I need to dress like a Japanese. I think I need to eat the food of the Americans. Then let's leave that at that. I think I need to farm like the other one. So why can't we develop and improve our own cultural practices regarding farming, leadership, life, education, fashion, and everything? So at the end of the day, even when we think we are losing our culture, we are actually losing ourselves. We are losing our livelihood. So at Tribal Roots, we recognize all the cultures, and we would like them to not go away from what their culture is. We recognize that you are different from the rest of the culture, but that is what gives us a diverse system that should give us more reason to celebrate life. We celebrate cultures and know that all these cultures need each other for us to create harmony, peace, and also the things we want. Maybe what you need is in the other culture and what they need is in you. So this all explains what Tribal Roots would do.
You know, there are some cultures that amongst their practices is witchcraft. So someone hearing you outside there has mastered that as someone's culture. And if you tell them to go back to culture, they feel like you're telling them to go back to such kind of practices. What do you think that person should do?
It's actually a misconception. that when you mention the word culture, someone is thinking about witchcraft. Do you know the reason they are thinking about witchcraft? Is because they can't think about farming. They will think about witchcraft because they are not thinking about manufacturing. They are thinking about witchcraft because they are not thinking about creating a strong generation. So this is the reason why I say culture, our definition of culture and tribal roots is different. We want to put people in a direction that allows them to see culture as their way of life in form of how you survive, the things you need and how you get them. So witchcraft is not a part of that. And also, I would also have to say, like, there are some of the things that we can't give so much attention. We know there's witchcraft, but also we know there is too much fake beliefs. There is too much superstition. There is too much fear-mongering, where they will make you think, like, you meet that man, you're going to die. So, like, they are trying to weaken your mind because they are telling you there's witchcraft and it has power. If really witchcraft had that much power, it would have saved you. The fact that it hasn't means it may be little to nothing. So we are not saying bring your witchcraft to tribal roots because we support. We are not saying that. We actually don't recognize. We don't recognize those spooky practices because that would be diversionary for who we are. As I said in the beginning, that entrepreneurship and technology. I don't know any witchcraft and whatever.
Okay. Another objective of tribal roots we've seen and encountered is repatriation.
Yes.
Can you shed more light to our viewers outside there to know what is this about and how can they also get involved into this?
Yeah, tribal roots is an African founded, supported, and this is Africa, and the theme for this launch has been We Are Fixing Africa. We cannot talk about Africa without talking about the Afro-descendants of Africans. Those people that we know were taken away during the slavery days, and they now live in continents outside Africa, but they have a need to return home, and we also have a need to see them coming back. The repatriation program at Tribal Roots is meant to facilitate the homecoming of those people, because we believe these are the scattered tribes that need to return home and unite with the continent, Mother Africa. So that's the policy. We have a program, it's actually a real estate program, where we have designated a place where these people can come to, can own homes. And also we have programs where they can come and work here, establish businesses, invest. So Tribal Roots, the real estate program of Tribal Roots will be facilitating that process. We're already in touch with a real estate company that should give understanding, direction, and all that is needed to help those who require or who need to come back to Africa. And Tribal Roots believes this is something we cannot shy away from.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, talking about that, talk more about the geopolitics.
Tribal Roots is a youth-centered organization that is saying that it is youth who will fix Africa. I mean, the approaches the youth are taking will help fix Africa. Giving a voice or being at the table of decision making, being a part of the process. So with the geopolitics, we believe all the youth in Africa should know what is happening in Africa. they should be aware of the geopolitics, of what actually is wrong in their societies, of what actually is happening in Ethiopia, what is happening in Somalia, what has been happening in the Congo, what is in Uganda. All youth require information and understanding of their own surroundings, because we believe that it is by knowing that we can solve most of the problems. So, where we are, we say that youth staying at the back of the van or keeping under the table while others are on the table has led to most of our youth being ignorant of the situation. So when you think that the youth would be more aware and would be speaking out about certain things, they are actually in sport and play. When people are plundering their nations, the youth are celebrating. When the youth should be thinking about the future, the youth are just sitting, sleeping. They are in slumber while their future is being destroyed. So at Tribal Roots, we support and inspire young people to be a part of their surroundings, of their politics, of their know what is happening in the world, know what is happening in your community, and see how you can become a part of the solution.
Okay.
So this is the awareness that we're creating.
Okay.
Yes.
Talking about geopolitics aside, is there any connection between tribal roots and politics?
No.
There is no such thing as we want to raise a political something around?
No, that's
Okay.
totally no. We are a humanitarian organization, and all we are trying to do is to empower communities to socially and economically develop, and to help communities be the ones to fix their own challenges. That is why we are saying we do not believe that any solutions are coming from the outside world. They must come from within. And that is why our young people are shouting, we are fixing Africa. And this has been the theme in the community around this town. Everyone is saying the same thing.
Fixing Africa.
We are fixing Africa.
Kwa majina yangu naitwa David John. Ni Mtanzania ambaye nipo Uganda na tupo katika Tribal Roots. Tukiwa na dhumuni kubwa la kuijenga Afrika. Kwa hiyo kama unajisikia kujiunga nasi, join us.
Hello everybody, Africa. This is Isaac from Kenya. I love Tribal Roots. We are fixing Africa. Join us.
My name is Akehanja John. I'm a Ugandan, and I'm so happy to fixing Africa. Tribal Roots.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeremiah. I'm a Nigerian and I'm also part of Tribal Roots, and we are fixing Africa.
Hello, my name is David John. I'm from Tanzania and I'm in Tribal Roots. We're here to fix Africa.
Hi everyone, my name is Ron Lord from Uganda. I love Tribal Roots. We are fixing Africa.
Hello everyone, I'm Ongeun Evelyn Olga from Uganda. Proud to be Tribal Roots. We are fixing Africa.
Congratulations, Tribal Roots Studio. I'm Sheila Natamba. I'm a Ugandan, a teacher by profession. I'm fixing Africa.
Hi, je m'appelle Christine. That means I'm called Christine. I am Cameroonian by nationality. I'm a doctor in training. We are fixing Africa. Tribal Roots. And I will always love you. Wait. I told me it sounds like a cow, but when I heard it, it was more than rain. It thunders more than the storms can. But all it does, it fixes us, because it is my intention is about the African woman. It is about emancipating a woman, and this is why I'm here. Because I work with a lot of dignity and pride. Because my esteem is not to be understated, but to be put on the forefront. My name is Nicole Tusimi. I'm a manager.
Hello, it's Edith. I'm an engineer by profession. We're fixing Africa from Chambers, from Uganda.
Hi, I'm Lydia Lynn. I'm a pharmacist. I'm a Ugandan, fixing Africa tribal.
Good morning, I'm Adam Mohammed, Sudanese. I'm Sudanese, I'm a farmer in Uganda. I support the initiative of Tribal Root, putting the initiative to support farmers and new entrepreneurs to wake up and uplift themselves. And I believe that by that initiative, we will fix Africa.
I'm Ugandan. I'm a medical student and I'm fixing Africa.
What is the sound?
Congratulations, Tribal Root Studio. I'm Kusasira Emmanuel from Uganda. I'm a banker. I'm fixing Africa.
Hi, I'm Godwin Tinamazma. I'm a Ugandan. I'm a doctor. We are fixing Africa in the tribal roots.
My name is Nantanta, all the way from Tanzania. Most refer to my country as South Africa. Yes, another area that needs to be looked into. We are a great continent, a great people with great resources, both natural, human, and more. And our people continuously live in poverty. That needs to change. I am involved in the political. I'm also in some organizations which I cannot mention here. And it is my dream and my passion to see the renewal of our continent by all means possible. So yes, I am fixing Africa. Ciao.
And we really want to empower these people, and we want to tell them that it's possible, it's doable. So whoever is interested in supporting the Fixing Africa movement should not shy away. This is the age and this is the time. And at this launch, I would like to say that this is the beginning of a new wave where young people decide what their future will look like and they all participate as one body. So this is what Tribal Roots is.
Okay. Talking about Fixing Africa, when you talk about solutions to the challenges of Africa, one of the challenges Africa is facing is health delivery system. How do we come in as Tribal Roots to help give a solution to the health system in Africa?
Wow, the health system in Africa is so lacking in many ways. We have people dying from preventable diseases. We have mothers dying before they reach the hospital for delivery. And also we have very many chronic sicknesses that should be actually treated if the health system was good. So Tribal Roots is actually putting this, it's a part of the fast programs to implement. We have what we call telemedicine, and we actually have a large group of doctors in training, medical students, different medical schools. They are already working on a program to promote telehealth in Africa. I would say the Kampala International University students, the teaching hospital, are already onto something in connection to telehealth. And this has come from Tribal Roots. We inspire all the time. So this is a part of the programs we are having to reach the remote villages of Africa, and this is the reason we are saying it's a youth-led working solutions.
There are so many Africans who are not aware about telehealth. Could you shed more light and explain what telemedicine is?
Okay. I guess I shouldn't have to do that. Yes, because I'm going to bring the medical
team
to explain.
Okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, at this launch, I would like to say we're going to be bringing programs. We bring programs, different programs from all aspects. Health is one of those. Very soon we'll bring a team of doctors to come here and tell us what telehealth, telemedicine is and how it is going to help Africa. But I'll say this. The use of technology and telecommunication in health delivery, primary health care and medicine to reach anyone in the world is what would define what telehealth and telemedicine is. We do not see any reason why this shouldn't be here. So we are saying this is our mission and we are going to support it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talking about fixing Africa again, you look at our education system. For example, here in Uganda, you get someone studies, finishes high school, could pass with an average pass mark, which is not bad, but then because of financial reasons, this person fails to cope up with university education, and these are the people here, they have dropped out of school, yet they really had the dreams, and along the way it has been shattered. How can we fix the education system of Africa?
I'll say, first and foremost, the education system we have is not African. For the most part, it's irrelevant. That's why we have graduates every year that get out of university without any skill. For a fact, it needs to be revised. If we don't revise it, we need to overhaul it altogether. I have seen examples in most communities where people that were not very much educated have a better life than those who were. The reason being that these people have invested so much money in irrelevant education. So at Tribal Roots, I think I said this before, we believe in skills, development. If you're being educated in a skill, that's just awesome. If you're being educated in having so many books and many papers and degrees, and then you are detached from your community, because as we saw, there are very many highly educated people that have no connection at all with the communities where they come from. I mean, who should be talking about the challenges in our communities? It's the educated people. Who should be thinking about going to fix those challenges? It's the educated people. But why? How comes most of them, as soon as they get those many degrees, they want to go to other countries? They are not trying to fix themselves, their communities and their clans. They want to have a better life somewhere else. So I think we need to get to a point and realize that the only respect the world will give us is what we have done ourselves. If all the educated people are running away, it means they can't find jobs here. So what is that education that doesn't allow you to find jobs where you've been educated? So our education should be in a line of giving relevancy to the community and making sure that it empowers us to become problem solvers. So Tribal Roots isn't a school or a university, but it will open your eyes and show you actually that you need a skill to count among the educated. You need a skill. Without a skill, you can go around the world with your papers and it won't make any sense. Why are we not manufacturing enough? Aren't we consuming manufactured goods? That's a question we set out and we are asking everyone. The more we buy other people's things, the more we empower their economies. Who is buying from us? No one, because we produce nothing. How shall we produce? We must have skills. We must have skills to produce. So this is the point. This is the kind of education. This is how our education should be defined. So at Tribal Roots, we really believe that anyone that needs to support a youth group should support them when they are getting a skill, having an entrepreneurial project, trying to empower themselves, trying to be the fishermen. So you can only give them a fishing gear. They don't need the fish so much. Empower them with the gear so they can catch their own. So this is, yeah.
So talking about skills, there are some people who have talents and would like people grow up. When you look at European countries, you see people are playing football, people are singing, and they're using their talents to make a living out of it. As Tribal Roots, one of the objectives we have is developing and promoting our talents. How are we going to fix Africa through our talents?
Okay, we are fixing Africa using our skills, talents, and abilities. We are supporting talented youth to get a platform to expose their talents to the world. We are connecting them to a bigger community of supporters. Tribal Roots, I would like to say with a big smile, that is also, it has also gone into the metaverse. We are not cheap. We are already in the metaverse, and I think our space is the Metagascar, and we will be selling our produce, we'll be selling our products and talents and skills on that new land, new virtual land. We're creating NFTs. And when we tell you that we are jeering and promoting technology believers, because we are not letting the world leave us behind. We are moving along with the world. So we have artists, we have poets, we have people in fashion, and we have singers, and we have playwrights. All those who are talented in different ways, we already have a plan to make sure they have a place where they can come to and get a supportive community. We already have that in the pipes. So just keep tuned and stay with Tribal Roots. Follow us, and we have a Facebook page called Tribal Roots Studio. My name is Aleena Zahir, ALEENAZAHIR. You can find me on YouTube and Facebook. So I'm saying you can contact us if you have any talents you would like to show. We know what to do with your talents, and we will support you by the best way that we can. So we're good.
Okay. What can you talk about people who have this idea of inventing? Someone can sit down and say, oh, recently we saw Makerere students making a car that can use electricity or battery. We may have in our community people who have such ideas. Are they also part of the talent?
Yes.
Can they also come through that?
The innovators are also part of the talented people. We actually have very many innovators, you know that. And we are planning, and we already planned, we want to promote them. We will also be bringing them on the studio platform, so the world can see them, and connecting them with the right supporters and the right investors. Regarding that, I would also have to say that Africa, in most cases, has lost some of the ownership of what would be our inventions. Because we are not taking the right processes regarding, for example, publishing and copyrights. So our education is allowing our youth to be smarter in making sure they can protect their rights with all they do. I mean, if you are an innovator, you should be able to know that your innovation is yours to protect. No one should take it from you. And you'll find like there are some things that Africans invented but were patented by other people. So we want the Africans to be proud one more time and say, whatever we invent is ours. So anyone that has any invention and you would really like to be a part of the growth, don't hesitate to contact us.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, in conclusion, what message do you send to all the Africans who are not in Africa right now, working in different countries abroad, and those who are part of Africa, but maybe were taken during the years of slavery and all that? What kind of message would you love to send them?
Well, Africa is rising, and at the point when the youth are really coming out and taking center stage of the problem solving, just believe that Africa is rising. So every African, wherever they are, this is the time, and this is our time to stand tall and say, we are fixing ourselves. For a long time, we have believed they will fix us. We have believed someone is going to come from heaven and say, you know what, this is now done. But every time things are falling apart. So the point is, we are now standing to say, most of the things we want, we can do ourselves. Let's fix ourselves with everything we have. Let's stop the wars. These wars in Africa must stop because they are a big hindrance to development. And let's fix our health, let's fix our feeding, let's fix our agriculture, let's fix our education, let's fix our housing. And yes, we can do it.
Thank you very much, Aleena Zahir. Tribal Roots Africa, we are fixing Africa.
Yes, we are fixing Africa. We are Africa, and Africa is us. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned with us. Subscribe and make sure you follow all our episodes. They will be coming every day. Each and every day, we'll be showing you something new from the Tribal Roots. If you would like to contact us, check on the comments below. You'll find our email address, you'll find our WhatsApp number, and you can contact us anytime, any day. God bless you.
Don't fear the violence, you're bound in the fire, in the middle of a battle when your life is real. It's just to know you were made in the fire so that you can be fine, not your warriors we know. If we thirst, we will drink on your strength. If we hunger, only you can feed us. You're the light of the ones who rise the light up, light up, light up, light up. You're the queen of Africa, a real queen of Africa.